Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our 308th meeting to Bright Beginning Toastmaster Club. How has been your morning? I hope everybody's super excited for this most learned and super energetic meeting today. Overall, the purpose of this meeting or the purpose of Toastmasters is to give you an environment where you can learn and improve your public speaking skills. And as the SA for today, I want to set some ground rules before we deep dive into the meeting. First, would request everybody to refrain themselves from speaking about sex, religion, politics. Please keep yourself on mute if you are not speaking. While there will be, today we are not having any speeches, but if there is any table topic being covered, refrain yourself from writing in the comment chat window. And with this, I would like to open this meeting and hand it over to the PO for today, Toastmaster Ashutosh. Toastmaster Ashutosh, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vidhu. So, I formally invite all the club meeting members and guests for this meeting. So, as Toastmaster Vidhu already explained the purpose and essence of Toastmaster meetings, in this meeting we will have a very interesting session. And Toastmaster Vidhu also agreed to play Toastmaster of the day. There is some interesting theme which she will be talking about, and I congratulate and wish all the best to her for taking the so many multiple roles, and also the other team members for their active participation in the meeting. And handing over back to you, Toastmaster of the day, as the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Vidhu, to take the meetings proceeding further.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashutosh. Have you been in meeting rooms where you have all the right Excel numbers, but still you're not able to make the right story? Yes, no, I would like everybody to unmute themselves. Yes, we often happen with this with us. And lately I have been in conversations where I have been asked to cut short whatever I'm trying to say and come to the point, right? Come to the conclusion. And that made me realize that I always look forward to leaders who are great speakers, who just come on stage, feels like stage is all theirs. They are there, well able to connect, articulate the right message, correct structure. And I always thought in my mind that they're so talented. How can I become like that? Is that something which is so natural, which comes inside? And maybe whenever I'm going on stage, until I have scripted myself in a way that I have jotted down the points, I will never be naturally able to articulate my message with such confidence and able to hook the entire audience throughout the meeting. And then I saw Anshuman's message, which I have, pinned everywhere on my laptop, and every recipe. Like for example, when we do cooking, I'm not a good cook. I don't know even how to make a simple recipe like a dal. But then there are good chefs, right? And that's how my analogy works for speaking. Is if we have a recipe to make any dish, we can be good cooks. Same is with public speaking, especially in business world. There is always a structure which great leaders follow, and there is nothing on the board, irrespective of how much they say what they say, and they say that we don't prepare. It is always a structure which they follow, and naturally with practice, that structures come so handy that whenever they are even saying, they are able to say in a flow. And that is where our topic today is architect your narrative. Now, I want to give everybody a thought on one message. If I say 33% of my customers drop off, right? Versus if I say every third person drop off, there is a difference between the articulation messaging. Or if I say out of three women, one woman is illiterate. Or if I say 33% of women are illiterate, right? Same message, same data, just the way of articulation is different, and which makes the impact different and keep the person hooked. So what I'm trying to say here is, since we all are so much into execution, we are all good with numbers. We know what our Excel says. We know what our dashboard look like. And when we go on those meetings, we start covering of what we have done. We go so much granular into detail that we forgot to tell a story to the audience. And the people who are able to tell the story from the numbers are the one who win the game, right? So with this, I would like to now hand it over to the table topic master today. Table topic master Anshuman, if you can cover how the structure of the meeting will look like for today, and we can go from there. Over to you.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Vidhu, and it's so wonderful to see Toastmaster Vineet, Toastmaster Satyake, Toastmaster Gaurav, who are new entrants to the club or guests and have joined today morning. So today becomes kind of special meeting because the regulars have decided to take the summer vacation, I guess, back again. So we are back to practicing table topics today, and we'll have an interesting format. So we'll have one table topic for the person, then the person will invite two folks. So it can be anyone amongst us two to give the evaluation. So all of us have to be on our feet, listen to the evaluation, because any one of us can be called to give an evaluation for 1 minute. So table topic will be for 2 minutes with 30 seconds buffer, with green card at 1 minute, yellow card at 1.5 minutes, and red card at 2 minutes with 30 seconds buffer. And each of the evaluators will get 1 minute to speak with 30 seconds buffer. So two evaluators with 1 minute evaluation each. I hope all of us are ready to share our thoughts. And of course, I'd like to invite you, Toastmaster Vineet, after a long, long while, to give a table topic. And why can't we see you now? We can see you now.
Yes,
And you're on. All right, how are you doing, Toastmaster Vineet?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me again. Uh, I feel
All
kind
right,
of blessed to join again.
beautiful.
Last few months had been quite hectic, uh, trying to manage multiple fronts, so I couldn't join back. But I'll try to join again. I mean, be consistent and be part of the group regular.
Amazing, amazing. All right,
Uh,
so
so
for your table
you
topic.
table topic. So I need to choose the person also.
No, no, no. That
Acha,
will be later.
acha.
So you'll get your revenge of doing table topic by choosing spontaneously two people who may or may not be listening. So
Hmm,
everyone, please listen to the table topic because you could be called on the stage. All
hmm.
right. So your fun topic to begin the morning, Toastmaster Vineet, is if
So
animals could suddenly talk, which species would be the rudest and why? If animals could suddenly talk, which species would be the rudest and why? Toastmaster Vineet.
if animal could talk, I think the species which would be rudest and most abusive, I would say, is tiger. Would be tiger. I can imagine the wording of tiger from the lens of my son. He continuously he keep on just imitating tiger every day, most of the time, and he tries to scare everybody that I will eat you, I will not leave you. I will kill you. I'm a tiger. I want to eat. So tiger can never be calm, composed. Whenever tiger wants to eat, tiger show that he is the most dangerous species in the world or in this universe. He will not leave you with the kind of thought that you can fight him back. He will scare you. He will tell you that you are already defeated. And that's when you will feel like, oh, I would like to surrender myself. And that's where I can say tiger is the most rudiest and scariest animal if they start speaking. Thank you. Over to you, Anshuman.
Thanks a lot. That was a fun table topic. Who are the two folks you'd like to invite to give you evaluation? We have Satyaket, Gaurav, Ashutosh, Nancy,
Yeah,
Vidu.
I mean, uh, anyone, maybe Ashutosh ji, Toastmaster Ashutosh, and Nancy.
All right, Toastmaster Ashutosh and Toastmaster Nancy, are you ready to give your evaluations?
Okay, sure.
All
So,
right, just
Toastmaster Vineet,
give me a minute. We'll just like to invite Toastmaster Nancy also. Toastmaster Nancy, are you ready? Toastmaster Nancy, are you there? All right, Toastmaster Vineet, will you like to choose someone else? Gaurav, Satyaket, Vidu.
Okay, Toastmaster Vidu, second one.
All right,
Yes.
sure. So over to you, Toastmaster Ashutosh, to share your evaluation.
Toastmaster Vineet, you choose tiger as the person who, as the animal who could have been the most furious in terms of language, usage of language. I think the content was rightly chosen, and you also reflected why tiger could do be the one who could be most furious in terms of showing his energy through verbal communication. Before that, only thing is the impact could have been more different since you are choosing tiger as the animal and show because of his might or his power. You could have made this. More added some tonality, added it more powerful, like the tiger, or some added some expression to feel the impact of tiger. Overall, you try to maintain in time, but there could have been more stretching of some stories, that what some instance of tiger found a deer with trying to hunt him, and added some more context to the your speech, given that you had time. That's it. And over to you, from
Toastmaster
those
Vidu.
with yes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hitosh. So first, Vinny, it's great to see you converting a topic into a story, and I think that is the theme of today: to convert our personal experiences and talk and make it more relatable. And if you, as you covered about your son, we could relate of how he'll be roaming around in the entire house, trying to be scariest and rudest to everybody in the family, and that excitement I could see. So everybody could be emotionally also connected to the entire scheme of things of how a child when mimics like a tiger, how he will be around the house and all, and it was able to create the impact. The only recommendation I will have is more around covering more ground, which means that maybe one aspect we covered around the sun, you know, doing certain kind of drama, action, and the other part maybe you can add more flavor to it. That was it. Overall, it was great way to cover a table topic by converting the topic into more of like a personal story. Over to you, table topic master Anshu.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Vidu, and thanks a lot, Vineet, for being the spotlight, and Toastmaster Ashutosh for sharing that evaluation. I hope all of us got a gist of the format. Now, I'd like to check with Toastmaster Nancy and Toastmaster Gaurav. Will you like to go next?
So,
All right. Do you want to start your video, Toastmaster Gaurav, so that we can see the
today I
audience?
cannot start my video. I hope it's fine for today.
Sure. Yeah, like in general, joining through video helps judge the body language and hand gestures. So do try to join by video next time. All right. Um, so your table topic for today is: you have been selected as a supreme ruler of the world. What is the very first slightly ridiculous law you're passing today? You have been elected as a supreme ruler of the world. What is the very first slightly ridiculous law you're passing today? Toastmaster Gaurav.
Mm, Let me think. There are a lot of rules, but let me think the least one that I can pass. Mm, maybe the visa part that I will pass, that there will be no visa required to travel anywhere in the world. That would be the less ridiculous one that I could suggest. That people can visit without applying for any visa verification and all. They can move around the world, so that that can help them to go anywhere they want to go into the system. Like, I remember a couple of my friends who applied for certain visas and then they got rejected, and somebody reached somewhere and they being deported due to some of the things, like their passport was torn a little bit, so they rejected and they said that you cannot enter into it, you have to move back. So all sort of things, I want to remove that part. I think that would be the least one, I would say, among the other ideas that I have in my mind. Back to you, Toastmaster Anshuman.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Gaurav. All right, just checking in. Toastmaster Nancy, are you there? If not, we can invite Toastmaster Vineet and myself, I guess, to share the evaluation. Over to you, Toastmaster Vineet, to share the evaluation first.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. Gaurav, Toastmaster Gaurav, pick up a brilliant idea. I mean, I can say that it's the most ridiculous idea in the world if we can get rid of the visa because it's a matter of security. That's why visas are there and the entry checkpoints are there. But having said that, the only thing which I could add in this entire speech is the humor. The same kind of feedback which I received. Uh, though we were not able to see you, that's where we were not able to understand the expression, and you were trying to convey the idea. So it was not somewhere landing. It should have been landed. So next time, try to, if you are not able to open the video, try to add some humor, or try to change the tone of the entire content slightly. This will be more impactful. Then overall, the idea was good. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster Ishmael.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Vineet. I concur with you that the uh, the law was interesting, the theme was interesting. So, as a ruler, removing adding of visas is something an important decision to take to curb immigration. Adding a story, adding a visual example, adding vocal variety could enrich your speech much more than it was currently. So there were a lot of facts out there. You could have enriched it by giving visual examples, metaphor, analogies, example story, as Vidhu mentioned, to bring more flavor to it and add vocal variety. That you're a supreme ruler, so you might have had dialogues that I'm going to rule out all the visas in my kingdom, some sort of that. So bring energy and enthusiasm to the audience. All right. So we have Toastmaster Nancy back. So Toastmaster Nancy,
Apologies, I had to go out somewhere. Somebody.
no worries, no worries. I hope now you're ready for your table topic.
There's no speech.
Oh, you're ready for your speech, is it?
Yeah. I that we'll see, but I have prepared some.
Amazing. So we'll do speech after table topics. Let's finish with the table topic section first, and then we'll do your speech as a grand closing to the meeting. But for now, then I'll put you on the spotlight for the table topic itself,
Okay.
if it's okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Toastmaster Nancy, pick up the nearest object next to you and sell it. Pick up the nearest object next to you and sell it. Toastmaster Nancy.
Can you see?
It's a pen.
Yeah. This is a pen. I want to sell this pen. This is not just a pen which is used to write anything important, anything related to your work or whatever you're doing. It is not just writing your daily tasks. This is writing someone's story as well. This pen has written many wonderful stories, and one among them can be yours as well. So I want to sell this pen to write your story in your words and then sell your story, tell your story to the world. What did you do? What were your highs and lows? All this pen can do in your own words. That's all from my side. Back to you, Toastmaster Anshuman.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Nancy. Now we can invite some sales experts to share their comments. Toastmaster Gaurav, will you like to share your evaluation for Toastmaster Nancy's speech? And
Oh,
and we can have Toastmaster Vineet. All right, starting with you, Toastmaster Gaurav.
So the topic is good. I mean, the random topic that has been selected, and the selling of the pen sales pitch was good. And trying to connect with the people, like uh, your this pen could you could write your story, all those things. Try to relate with them and try to bring their confidence about the pen is all good, I would say. There are a couple of things in the grammatical part that might be improved. Otherwise, everything is good, including the expressions and the end gesture.
Right, thanks a lot, Toastmaster Gaurav. Over to you, Toastmaster Vineet.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. Lately, I have realized that selling actually is an art. I am into much more into this stuff last few months. I can see Toastmaster Anshuman laughing. I'll tell you the story after that. I had been success. Okay, so it's an art. When you started that, I want to sell this pen. That's where we should not start it, right? We should start by linking the emotion of that product with the person you are trying to sell without saying that I want to sell this pen. There has to be a story attached to the product itself. It's not a pen. It is a blessing or it is a gift when I give this to my son. And when my son gives to his son, it will become a legacy. That's a magic that one pen can do over the years. Remember the dialogue by Viru Sahasrabuddhe in Three Idiots? This pen is very special. It's given by the great, great, great scientist to me. You can write anything at any angle in the space and it works. So there has been an emotion in that, and that's emotion. That's what emotion I was expecting when we are trying to sell any product. So when you add more emotion while selling to it, it will be a great story around it. Yeah. Back to you, Roastmaster.
Amazing, Toastmaster Vineet. We are realizing how much we missed you, but great you're back and sharing your wisdom. Thanks a lot, Nancy, for taking up the table topic. Toastmaster Ashutosh, would you like to go next?
Yes. So,
All right. This is kind of going to your younger days. So you're already pretty young, but if you could go back and if you could go back and give your 15-year-old self a single
Mhm.
piece of advice, what would it be? And would they actually listen to you? If you could go back and give your 15-year-old self a single piece of advice, what would it be? And would they actually listen to you, Toastmaster Ashutosh?
If I go back 15 years back, I must be trying to juggle between the task given by the office, task given my family, and the task sometimes which I have taken over my head, which were actually not the task. 15 years back, I was a hustler, a big hustler, and hustler between the hustler, changing one task from another. If I have an opportunity to go back 15 years back now, I would ask myself, hey, Ashutosh, calm down. It's okay. Take the moment slowly, take the moment as it is. Nothing will change overnight. If you take some pause, reflect, you will perform better. You will perform better wherever it is needed. Take pause and enjoy the moment, which I didn't do while I was actually passing through that moment. Now that I realized I have missed a lot of such uh, momentums running between tasks and not had the fun of that moment, I try to do it now. Take some pause and enjoy the moment in all the condition. There is no perfect time, but I miss to tell this to my younger self. I wish this message is passed upon to my younger self, and there is an opportunity to relive the moment once again, to have it more joyful, more feelingful, more lifeful, not passing through it as a only as a hustler, because the times keep running, but the moments doesn't fall back again for seeing that moment again. That's it from my side, Toastmaster Anshman.
Wow. That was a beautiful reflective journey. So Toastmaster Nancy, Toastmaster Vidhu, do you want to share your respective evaluations? Starting with you, Toastmaster Nancy.
I think message that Toastmaster Ashutosh delivered was good, and that you want to tell to your younger self to enjoy every moment, take a pause and enjoy. So one thing which I would like to add, which Toastmaster Vineet also mentioned in my speech, that adding a story, we feel more connected, which I also missed. So sometimes I try to add, but it depends. Sometimes we can add, or sometimes we cannot connect the dots, and we cannot, we cannot add the story. So that part, I feel that we try to add, but otherwise your message was very clear, and it was good. Over to you, Toastmaster Vidhu.
I completely second to what you were saying, Nancy. So I was re-looking at the structure of how we should ideally cover the table topic as well. So one way I was looking at is maybe, to build a story like it was on 12th of August 1991 when I was having my SST exam. And when I reached my school, I got to know it was my Hindi exam instead. But because I was a hustler, I did not listen to any of those. I did not go to the washroom, but I was just studying and studying and studying because I wanted to top my school. That is, I think, something which is what we need to your point. Emotion is very important, and I just want to take one more minute. I just want to share my screen in terms of, yeah. So ideally, when we are even covering, so this is how the structure should look like, which is like whatever we want to say we want to be a hustler or we are a hustler. What is the hope? Basically, emotion is something which will which everybody in your audience will always remember. Making a point of how you think doesn't matter much, but covering of what your emotion or what your story was is something which keeps everybody hooked and which will be there for long, right? So for example, in this way they've tried to show the whatever data you have, you try to create first the hope, what will happen, and then there should be a fear of if that doesn't happen, then what is going to happen, right? And there will be future action or whatever you want like if you what change or what request you're making. So even if you're selling, so you can have this structure that you can have your fact, then you can create, okay, what do you want to achieve, or you can create that hope. Then the fear is important because fear is something will help drive, and then the fourth is action. So this is a structure we can follow. Back to you, Toastmaster Anshuman.
Beautiful. Thanks a lot, Osman Vidu, for sharing the structure. I hope this will be helpful for all of us to enact in our future instances. And last but not the least, I'd like to invite Toastmaster Vidu to take a stab at the last table topic we have for the day. Picking up on the last theme. So, what is something about being an adult that nobody warned you about when you were a kid, Toastmaster Vidu? So, what is something about being an adult that nobody warned you about when you were a kid, Toastmaster Vidhu?
You hear that noise in the background of my daughter? She kept telling me this is not the way to do things. And this reminds me of how I was during my childhood. Keep nagging my parents on things which I thought an adult should do, right? Or maybe taking some food from my mother's plate, which I used to like when she was having just last bite of it, right? A lot of us during our childhood have been asked to do some things which we should not do, right? And with this younger generation, we are making the children today are already in their adulthood. One part of it I look at it as when we were during the childhood, we are not aware about what actually a balanced life look like. But for this generation, they already are well versed. So with this, I would like to hand it over to you, table topic master Anshuman.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Vidhu. Toastmaster Ashutosh, Toastmaster Vineet, do you want to take a stab at giving evaluation for Toastmaster Vidhu?
Yes, thanks, Toastmaster Anshuman. So, childhood to adulthood and connecting the dots, and also countering the distraction gracefully. I congratulate Toastmaster Vidhu for that. So there was a distraction, but she used that as a prop to start the meeting. It is very difficult normally. So yes, and then I like the again connecting the dots, but again circling back to what I learned from you, Toastmaster Vidhu. Adding stories would have helped to get the more clarity on the thoughts. But of course, you tried to make some stories, but a specific instance would have helped us to get the more flair of the story. Otherwise, nicely delivered. That's it from my side.
Toastmaster Vineet?
Yeah, I mean, on the same boat, I think maybe I was not able to understand the message here. I could see the dots you're trying to connect the childhood with the adulthood, but message is something uh, I believe was not clear to. I mean, it's also visible. To Ashutosh also was not able to understand. So what you were trying to convey was not there, but your emotions were there. I can sense that your emotions were there, but messaging was not there. So this time emotion was there, but messaging was not there. That's what I wanted to convey. Thank you. Back to Toastmasters.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Vineet. I think every table topic is a unique challenge. That's why even experts have their own day in table topics. And table topics is a field, like as we saw in oration, we cannot even predict who will make it to the final leg, because every year the table topic participants are different. So that, and while on the speeches you usually see typical 4 or 5 names coming on the stage. That's why I think table topic, each day each topic has so many nuances, and it's always a long field to master. But thank you all for spontaneously evaluating and spontaneously delivering a speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Vidhu. to take forward the team or theme, then Toastmasters Ashutosh, will you like to be the evaluator for Toastmaster Nancy today?
Yes, sure.
Sure. All right. So over to you, Toastmaster Vidu, to later then hand over to Toastmaster Nancy for the speech and Toastmaster Ashutosh to conclude the proceedings.
Thank you, Toastmaster John. So let me share a powerful line I came across. Instead of a sentence like, I am blind, please help me. Someone wrote, it is a beautiful day, but I cannot see. The second line is more empathetic in nature. And that is where the rule of emotions come into play. The power of any story which we deliver is how much emotions you are able to articulate through your individual story. That is something which has been the key theme of our today's meeting. So, whatever table topics we have covered in the day, if you close your eyes for 10 seconds and recall of what you heard, there will be those instances where you were able to relate it to yourself or where you feel something. Apart from that, you won't remember anything. So, the idea for today was to give us a push to always cover our emotions and stories in whatever we are articulating, be it in terms of talking to at a personal ground or even in our business setup, because everybody is having a data, right? So, but turning the data into a story is what makes you different and out of the league. And if you don't tell your story, then there will be somebody else who will sell their own story. So that is an underlying key thing which I wanted to cover. With this, now I would like it to hand it over to Toastmaster Ashutosh for a quick, if you have the objectives of and the theme for Toastmaster Nancy speech, we can go from there. Over to you, Toastmaster and Ashutosh.
Yes, Toastmaster Vidu, thanks. I don't have the specific speech objectives, but I want to invite Toastmaster Nancy for delivering her speech and looking forward to evaluating her after her speech. So, over to you, Toastmaster Nancy.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashutosh. Lonely, I'm Mr. Lonely. I have nobody. Oh, yeah, oh, oh. So you might have heard this song many times. And you might have felt the same at some or other point of your life, that loneliness. Today, my topic, my prepared speech on the same topic, loneliness epidemic. So, many times we feel lonely and we try to search some few friends online or over the mobile whom we want to talk or we want to connect. We feel that we want to talk to someone today. I want to share my story, what I felt today. Apart from your family, you need someone else. You search for them, but yet you cannot find that one person whom you can share your story. That's exactly the irony I am talking about today. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, loneliness is no longer just a feeling. This has been declared as epidemic. And so it is not only impacting your mental health, it is impacting your physical health as well. Being lonely for many days is as dangerous as consuming 15 cigarettes in a day, as per the survey. It is so dangerous. It can impact your heart, and many people undergo depression, being lonely for many days. From past few days, I was feeling the same. I was feeling lonely. I wanted somebody to be with me, to talk to. I was thinking that where that group went, whom I used to have lot of fun. I used to talk. Whenever I wanted somebody, some or other person was always there. That group gone. Nobody is there now. We are so full with our responsibilities every day. I follow my routine. It's not that boring, but that is a routine. Nothing fun in there. So I go for a workout, then I start my work, I do some addendums, and then I start my office work till evening or night. I am busy. Nothing there. I can say that this half an hour was my fun time. Nothing. Every whole day is full with responsibilities and work. Day before yesterday, I went for a workout. Generally, I come back as soon as it is finished. I come back, say hello, and then I come back and then I do my work. That day, I sat there for half an hour. I started talking to people. Hello, how are you? I like your shoes. What is your daily routine? What protein you take? How many workout session you attend? I As soon as I was talking to them, I was feeling lighter. I was feeling good, and I was feeling that those days wherein I had group, I was feeling the same that day. And then I decided that along with our physical health, our mental health is also important. That fun time is also important in your life, and everyone should have that time. And then I make a point that if 1 hour is my workout time, half an hour I'll spend talking to people. That will be my social time. These days, have you ever felt that why it is happening? Because everything everything we have chosen as virtual. We try to message to people rather than talking to them. Sending one message is fine. Why to talk to him or her for 5 minutes? No. We try to send the message. Coffee time with friends is replaced by messages or simple talks. Sharing photo albums, that was a physical one, is replaced by Instagram photos and WhatsApp status or Facebook photos. We get the likes, we get the comments, close, chapter closed. This that time has gone wherein we used to have that physical album, we used to get comments, we used to show this to people, and the comments we received at the same time and the laughter together is totally missed. We are just running. So, what we have to do? What should we do? We should replace few virtual meetings to our physical meetings. Reach out to someone whom you were thinking for quite a long time and you were feeling that that one person was my good friend. I need to connect. Don't wait for that person to connect with you. Be someone for that person, and could be the case he or she might be feeling lighter because of you, and you would feel the same. Second, if you're meeting someone, don't be just physically present, be 100% there. Leave your mobile for that time, for that moment, and live every moment there with the person you're spending time with. Third point, have few group of friends, very good friends of yours, rather than 100 shallow ones or 1,000 on your Instagram or Facebook. Have those handful of people, those can those people can spend time with you, and whenever you want to have fun with, you can have those 5 people with you. Fourth point, we should have one physical meeting in our Bright Beginning Club rather than all virtual meetings. Could be the case we would have those handful of people there and we would be making lifelong friends in this Bright Beginning Club. So, the message is this week, challenge yourself to connect to someone you were thinking to connect for a long time and feel lighter and let him or her feel lighter, because the cure for loneliness is not having more connections. The cure is how more connected you are to those people, to someone. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster Ashutosh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nancy, for the amazing speech. I think I will need few moments to reflect upon and come from the mode of listener to evaluator. So I would request Toastmaster Vidhu to continue with some more thoughts by the time I am ready with evaluation.
Nancy, you have Toastmaster Nancy, you have spilled the magic through your emotions, and everybody could resonate with it. Before we conclude and to or reach to Toastmaster Ashutosh evaluation, I wanted to call on a structure which we can follow to strengthen the way of our articulation. So first is to have emotions, by adding a personal story. What is your thought to it? That is the first element of whenever we are speaking in any forums. Second is to build fear, or maybe through a metaphor, or maybe give some kind of before and after, right? What is going to happen before versus what is going to happen after, right? So if, say, you are saying today we are delivering in 10 days, but with this we are going to deliver in 10 minutes. So before and after order contrast is important to showcase the importance of the topic which you are saying. And then third is clarity, or the takeaway, or the message, next words. That is very important, to basically strengthen and to give a very strong closure to whatever you are saying. So broadly, in different, different forums, different messages, different posts, I've seen that these are the three things said differently, but broadly, a structure of a strong delivery is to capture emotions through a story, through your own thoughts on that topic. Second is to build a contrast, a fear, right? And the third is to have clarity, takeaway, an action, or a message. So broadly, if we are covering these three, then we are able to tell our story to the other person who they can relate and they can take away from it. Toastmaster Ashutosh, if you are ready with it, I can hand it over to you. If not, then
Just about 30 seconds, Toastmaster.
okay. Okay. So as we continue with our further sessions, let's try to build more stories that can create impact and nudge each other to bring in more fun element of our side. As Toastmaster Nancy, rightly quoted that in the entire day we are so much into our own responsibility. We are already into adulthood. I can see Vineet already thinking about 10 different things he has to do in the day. So we are all so dived into our responsibility. This is a time when we can bring the, our that X factor of, how we can cover unconventionally or think unconventionally out of the box and add more stories of whatever we have done. We already have so many stories, it's just we don't think about it that much. So going forward, it will be an urge to everybody whenever we are talking about any such topics, have the fun element of it and try to build in more your personal stories in it. Over to you, Toastmaster Ashutosh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vidhu. Toastmaster Nancy, I would say I have taken a few, not a few, but quite a few evaluations, but I would say this will be the one of the difficult ones to either listen to you or try to gather inputs for for giving valuations. This speech was not only delivered to me, it is not the Toastmaster format speech. This is like a podcast on a particular topic. It looks delivered from a subject matter expert who can be taken for consideration that okay, this is the best expert on this subject, and if you are, as you are speaking as if you are an expert, and you can give guidance to the generation for changing the thought process on a beautifully selected topic, epidemic loneliness. Your speech started with a intriguing song where the audience could immediately draw attention to what you are doing. Very beautifully started with the concept of a song instead of some statement or a pause phrase. And then you started again, then you changed the format to the definition of or introduction to the topic, what the loneliness of epidemic is, what kind of impact it make, mental, physical. Then you also showed the path to how it is connected to our daily lives, what are the things we are doing, including your example of you going to gym previously, not talking to anybody, then you spoke to people. You also show the call for action. You name the problem statement, and you also name the solution statements. So that was also very right in your speech to connect the solutions as well, and showing an immediate call for action for the people of this club. It is not showing something which is you cannot take feedback. It's an immediate call for action to draw and plan a physical meeting between these club members. I know it may be a little difficult logistics wise for me, but I would like to be joining one of the physical meetings as well. And only thing is, Toastmaster Nancy, considering you as a brilliant speaker, which I today come to know as a surprise. I have not heard you previously speaking much, but I firstly encourage you to take more and more speeches in participating in more and more speeches. And few actions, a few recommendations for you is, given that you are delivering a very strong message, which you were perceived as a strong subject matter expert, you could have added few pauses to make the connections with audience, which you tried to do the through questions. But when you asked that question, there was an opportunity to maybe take some pause or take some inputs from the audience that could have been added more connection in the larger forum. Today was a short forum, and because this was an important topic, and I think very close to your heart, as it was looking like if you could have added maybe delivered this standing or using more hand gestures, you could have added more stronger impact to the messages. That's it from my side, and over to you for more successful deliveries in future. Toastmaster Nancy, over to Toastmaster Vidu for continuing the team. Thanks.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashutosh and Toastmaster Nancy. Your initial first few lines of your song is still there humming in my ear, and I hope it is with everybody. So, that kind of impression you have made in today's meeting. Kudos to your speech. It was quite powerful, very refreshing, very different from what we usually deliver. So, one notch up there, and we hope to see you more of such with more of such speeches in our coming meetings. And yes, Toastmaster Anshuman, do we want to conclude the proceeding for today with a conclusion?
Yes, so for
closing
the word, we have Toastmaster Bob joining. So, as is the Toastmaster tradition, we won't let him leave without saying a few words. So, we won't do a table topic for you, Toastmaster Bob, but the theme for today was
architecture narrative, maybe
architecture
Toastmaster-
narrative. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Toastmaster Bob, Toastmaster Anshuman, if you allow, I just have.
Yes, please. Yeah, of course.
Okay. Thank you. Toastmaster Bob. So the theme was to, architect our narratives, which means to have nobody is a born speaker. There is always a structure of having the best in class speeches or the way we deliver. And we covered broadly three themes. One is having emotions, which is your personal story, with a contrast or a fear you want to bring to that particular story or whatever messaging you want to pass on with a clear messaging of a takeaway, right? So that is how, or next words, or how somebody can apply that particular knowledge, story, whatever you articulate. So broadly, this is how every stuff, most of the best speeches are being articulated in this structure. Now, would request if you can maybe have one story from your personal life and which everybody can relate to. It will be great. And sorry for putting you on spotlight.
No, not at all. So I'm assuming everybody here is from corporate life, right? So I'm just
Yes.
going to share an experience, a story of mine when I joined as an intern at a company back in 2006. So this company is Salesforce, and I was hired as an intern. Was going to do my internship there from my college, and they have a tradition there. They used to have the tradition there because the size of the company was pretty small at that point of time. At least the tech team was about 100 people odd only. So it was a small tech team. Something called dorking. Dorking is basically where if you've left your machine unattended, they would send some random mail or something from that machine to everybody in the company. So it was basically a call to arms for people to make sure that you don't leave your machines unattended or unlocked. So this was my first day at college, at the office, and they'd given me a company supplied provided a laptop, and I was supposed to set it up. So, and my station was somewhere at the very back of the office, just where all the snacks and the toilets were. So I started setting up the laptop, downloaded the necessary softwares, and started installing everything. And while waiting for the softwares to update and the system to start running and all of that, I just laid back and closed my eyes and fell asleep. And one of the senior developers, he was the lead database guy in the company, took a picture of it and sent it out to the entire company from my laptop. So I was docked on the first day of my job as an intern in a tech company. Now, it could have gone it could have gone two ways. One, get fired the next day, or the humiliation of it. But something that came out of it was I was popular on day two. Everybody knew who I was. The beauty of it was that everybody took it positively. So I never really had any discrimination. People were not pointing fingers at me and not going on, oh, that's the guy who was sleeping. I made a lot of good friends out of that. Got to know a lot of senior people in the company on day one, or day two, or day three. So yeah, that's the story of how I got docked on the first day of my internship at Salesforce. Back to you, TMOD, Toastmaster Vidhu.
Interesting, Bob. I mean, it become a blessing in disguise for you. Otherwise, it takes ages to become friends in corporate life. So lucky you. Okay, so I am going to now hand it over to our PO for today, Toastmaster Ashutosh. Toastmaster Ashutosh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vidhu. I think we had a successful meeting with a very interesting concept of table topics and not only the table topics delivery, but the evaluation was also equally impromptu. So congratulates to you and Toastmaster and Shuman for planning this concept. And the meeting successfully started on time, and then we almost finished well in time. So I announced the closure of this meeting, and then I think the following meeting will be taking place on the next weekend, again next Saturday at the same time on 27th of June.
Yep.
Okay, so that's it from my side, and I officially announce the closure of this meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
And